Hey guys, Vance here. So, engines. Some of them run like they've had 5 cups of coffee and no sleep. Others, smooth as jazz on a Sunday morning. But here's the thing, not all engines are created equal. Some layouts are naturally balanced, some are complete chaos until engineers step in with band-aids, and a few, the rare few, feel like they've been blessed by geometry itself. Today, let's talk about the engines that don't just make power, they make poetry. First on our list, we have the inline-six. If balance had a poster child, it will be the inline-six. Every piston motion cancels another's, both primary and secondary forces. It's basically the Hermione Granger of engines. Doesn't need balance, shafts, doesn't need drama, it just works. That's why BMW's Street 6s feel like butter on toast. Toyota's 2JZ, same story. Just add boost until the roads wave goodbye. Smoothness and strength rolled into one. Next, we have flat engines. Take that perfection and lay it flat. That's your boxer engine. Opposing pistons move in harmony, shaking hands across the crankshaft. Porsche's flat 6, balanced and iconic. Subaru's flat 4, technically smooth, but thanks to uneven exhaust pulses, it sounds like a lawnmower that discovered hip-hop. Go bigger, flat 12s, Ferrari in the 80s, and you get that turbine-like silk that made posters on bedroom walls. Smooth, wide, exotic. Next, we have the V12. The V12 is what happens when you take two inline-sixes and tell them to work together. Perfect primary and secondary balance. A firing event every 60 degrees. Rolls-Royce used it for quiet luxury. Ferrari and Lamborghini used it for ear-bleeding symphonies. Drive one and it doesn't climb revs, it unfolds them. You don't feel gaps in the power. It just hits. It's just this endless wave, smooth enough to impress your chauffeur, wild enough to terrify your date. Next, we have the straight 8. Once upon a time, the straight 8 was king, as smooth as an inline-6 but longer than a stretched limo. Classic Packards, old Bugattis, elegant giants. But packaging killed it. Too long, too heavy, too impractical. Think of it as the vinyl records of engines. Beautiful, silky, but unless you're into antiques, it's just not happening anymore. Next, we have the V8s. Now, the V8, this one's tricky. Cross-plane crank V8s, your American muscle staples, are fairly smooth, but they trade refinement for that heavy thumping heartbeat. That's why a Mustang sounds like it's threatening you at idle. Flat plane V8s though, Ferrari, Mustang GT350, they rev like angry chainsaws. More vibration, sure, but that's the price of exotic high revving chaos. Smooth? Not really. Addictive? Absolutely. Next, we have the misfits. And true car guys always love misfits. First, we have the inline 4. Cheap, compact, reliable. But balanced? Not even close. That's why most of them come with balanced shafts. Otherwise, your Civic will vibrate like it swallowed a blender. The V6, a compromise child. If it's 60 degrees, it's okay. If it's 90, it's a mess. Needs crank tricks and dampers just to pretend it belongs. And then, there's the inline 5. Not perfectly balanced either, but in the right application, it became legendary. Look at Mercedes OM617 diesel, naturally aspirated. It was already bulletproof, a taxi engine that could run 500,000 miles without flinching. Add a turbo though, and suddenly this workhorse has real muscle. I've actually experienced its power, and let me tell you, it doesn't rush you like a high-strung sports engine. Instead, it builds this steady, unshakable push. like a freight train that just won't stop. It's not explosive, but it's relentless. In Africa and the Middle East, these engines are still roaming deserts and highways. Decades after they left the factory, smooth enough for long hauls, tough enough to shrug off abuse, and simple enough to fix with hand tools. The OM617 turbo may not have been mathematically perfect, but it proved something more important. Balance on paper isn't everything. Longevity, character, and engineering integrity can make an engine feel just as timeless. Then we get to the W engines, Volkswagen's W12, Bugatti's W16. They are not naturally balanced the way an inline-six is. What they are is complicated. Two VR engines crammed onto one crank. On paper, it shouldn't feel this refined. In reality, it's like a jet engine on wheels. The Bugatti W16 is both aggressive and smooth at the same time. It doesn't hit you, it overwhelms you. One moment you're driving, the next moment you're questioning physics as the horizon sprints towards you. So, which engines are truly smooth? The inline-six, the flat-six, the V12, the old straight-eight, the rest? Some are tamed, some are chaotic, but all of them have personality. Because balance is one thing, soul is another. Sometimes the roughest, shakiest engines are the ones we love the most, and sometimes perfection is so silky, you barely notice it's there. That's the beauty of engines. They don't just move cars, they move people. Hit like if you enjoyed the video.